It was the year 2021. Christmas season in London was at its peak. My name is Jack, and I was living in a flat with my friend Mark. We were both students, enjoying our first Christmas in London. The lively markets, the melodies of carols, lights shimmering everywhere. It all felt magical. But now I know that some magic is incredibly dark. It started with a small old antique shop. The shop was hidden away in a narrow alley in Camden. Its name was Forgotten Carols. As soon as we stepped inside, the air felt cold, even though it was already cold outside. But this chill was different, as if it seeped out from the ancient walls themselves. In one corner of the shop, on a shelf, sat a lone wooden box. It was tied with an old, deep red ribbon. On the lid was an image of Santa Claus, but not the cheerful, festive Santa. His eyes were completely black. It felt as if the picture wasn't just being looked at, but was looking back at you. I said to my friend, "Did you see that? How strange." The shop owner, a very old woman, silently appeared behind us. Her voice was coarse and grainy. She said, "This is a special Christmas box from the Victorian era. It is meant for those who understand that a gift does not always come wrapped in paper. Sometimes it is a promise or a curse." She sold it to us for just £10. We thought, what a cheap and unique decoration. We placed the box on the coffee table in our living room. That's where everything began. The first night, I suddenly woke up. My clock showed 2:30 a.m. I thought I heard movement coming from the lounge, like someone walking very slowly, then stopping. I called out to Mark. No answer. I lay back down, thinking it must be a neighbor. In the morning, the box was still on the table, but it had changed position. The night before, Santa's face had been turned toward the wall. Now it was facing the door, as if waiting for someone to enter. I asked Mark about it. He said maybe he had bumped it during the night. I didn't believe him. The second night, the sounds returned, but they weren't just footsteps. It was a song, an old Christmas carol, as if someone very far away was singing in a tired, broken voice. The words weren't clear. My heart started pounding. I got out of bed and moved toward the living room. The moment I touched the door handle, the singing stopped. The room was dark, lit only by the faint glow of the streetlight outside. And that's when I saw it. The wooden box was open. The lid was slightly raised. From inside it, a pale white mist was spilling out. The mist floated in the air, then suddenly vanished, as if it had never existed. My breath caught in my chest. I switched on the light. The box was closed, exactly as we had left it. The ribbon was neatly tied. I woke Mark and told him everything. He looked at my face and knew I wasn't lying. The next day was Christmas Eve. We decided to open the box and see what was inside, maybe an old note or something that explained its strange behavior. With shaking hands, we untied the ribbon. As soon as we lifted the lid, a smell rushed into our noses and gripped us. It smelled like old books, rotting wood, snow, and something else I couldn't identify, like forgotten memories. The box was empty, completely empty. But at the bottom, there were markings, words written in very old English. We scanned them with our phones and translated them. The words are still carved into my mind. "Whoever finds this box shall be bound to the 12 nights of Christmas. Each night make a wish. Each night hear a scream. On the 12th night it will release you, provided you can give it something. The price will be decided by it." We looked at each other. It felt like part of some childish horror story. Mark laughed and said jokingly, "All right then, hey box, give us a perfect Christmas dinner." That was our biggest mistake. That night, the first night of Christmas, I woke to a scream. It was the purest sound of terror I had ever heard. It wasn't human, it wasn't an animal, it was just pain, fear, and despair, one long, tearing wave echoing through the walls of our flat. Frozen in fear, we ran into the lounge. No one was there. But on the kitchen table, a full Christmas dinner was laid out. Roast turkey, potatoes, gravy, everything steaming hot. That same strange smell filled the air. We didn't touch a single bite. By morning, the food was gone, as if it had never existed. Only the box remained, now looking darker than before. We panicked. We picked it up, took it outside, and threw it into the trash. When we returned, we felt lighter. But the next morning, the box was sitting outside our door, on the doormat. The red ribbon had turned dark brown, almost black. Now we understood. We were dealing with something beyond our control. We buried the box in a park. The next morning, it was under my pillow, covered in soil. 12 nights passed. Each night a wish, each night a scream. Every night the box opened and something strange appeared. Wealth, old coins, happiness, sudden bursts of forced joy that felt fake and terrifying. With every wish, the box felt closer, more present. The screams were no longer just sounds. They became whispers inside our ears, calling our names. Mark began to change. He would sit in front of the box for hours, talking to it. The light in his eyes faded. On the 11th night, he told me, "Jack, I made a deal with it. It accepted." "What deal?" I asked. He smiled faintly and said, "Happiness for happiness." The 12th night arrived, the final night. The air was electrically tense. The flat was so cold that our breath was visible. The box sat in the center of the living room floor. Its lid was opening and closing slowly, as if it was breathing. I told Mark we should burn it. He grabbed my hand to stop me. His fingers were ice cold. "No, it's time." Then a voice spoke. It didn't come from the box. It came from everywhere. It was the old shopkeeper's voice, but layered with something else. 12 wishes fulfilled, 12 screams given. Now it is time for payment. You asked, we delivered. Now you give. Mark said, "I've already paid. I gave all my future happiness, the right to my smiles. I'll be rich, but forever empty." And he cried, silent, soundless tears. Then the voice turned to me. "And you, what do you have to give? You asked, yet you offered nothing. You must pay too." I had nothing. Desperately, I said, "I don't know. I have nothing to give." The voice replied, "Then we will choose. We will take what you cherish most, the memories where your true happiness is buried." An overwhelming cold seized me. It felt like a hand entered my mind, tearing out soft, precious memories. I felt my childhood Christmas when my grandfather showed me snow for the first time, and then it faded away. I felt my first love's letter, the one I had kept for years, and suddenly I couldn't remember the handwriting. It was torture of the mind, without pain, yet leaving the deepest wounds. Then it ended. Silence. Normal light. The box was closed. The ribbon was completely black. Mark sat on the floor, staring ahead with empty eyes. There was no trace of a smile on his face, just a smooth, hollow expression. We tried to return the box to the shop. The alley was gone. Where forgotten carols once stood, there was now a coffee shop. Finally, we threw the box into the River Thames. It didn't sink. It floated, watching us like a dark stain drifting away. Mark is still the same today. He never laughs. As for me, Some of the best moments of my life are now just empty stories. I have photos, but the emotions tied to them are gone. So yes, this is my Christmas story. It is not a fairy tale. It is a warning. This Christmas, if you receive an old gift, especially one that's too cheap or has Santa with hollow eyes, do not open it. Just don't. Because every gift has a price. And sometimes that price is something you are not ready to pay. Stay happy and stay safe. It was the last evening of Christmas. Raindrops were striking against the cafe's glass windows, and outside, the Christmas lights shimmered with a wet glow along the street. Riaz sat in the corner of the cafe, holding his coffee cup, his eyes fixed on the clock. 2 hours remained until midnight, and he was waiting. "You know," a low voice said suddenly, startling him, "every Christmas night a special story is told here." Riaz looked up. An old man sat across from him, his face lined deeply by time, his eyes carrying a strange glimmer. "What story?" Riaz asked, though he wasn't in the mood for conversation. Smiling faintly, the old man replied, "The story that is told only to those who are alone on Christmas night, and I can see you are alone." Riaz nodded slightly. He had been traveling to meet his family, but a snowstorm had canceled all flights. Now he was waiting for the next one, scheduled for 8 in the morning. "My name is Ahmed," the old man said, extending his hand. "Riaz," he replied briefly. "Come, Riaz," said Ahmed, lifting his coffee cup. "Let me tell you the story my grandfather told me, and his grandfather told him. But first, you must promise to listen carefully, and if you get scared, you won't interrupt." Riaz thought it was just the rambling of an old man, but it was Christmas night and he had nothing else to do. "All right, go on." Ahmed took a deep breath and began. "This story goes back nearly 100 years, when this city was still a small town. In those days, a wealthy merchant lived here, Edward Winterbotham. He was extremely rich, but unbearably miserly. Every Christmas, while people celebrated, exchanged gifts, and spread joy, Edward locked himself inside his mansion, sealing all doors and windows so that no beggar could knock on his door. One Christmas night, as snow fell heavily, there was a knock at Edward's door. Annoyed, he opened it to find an old woman standing outside, dressed in tattered clothes, holding an old box in her hands. "Please, sir," the old woman said in a trembling voice, "help me. I have nothing to eat, and my grandson is ill." Edward tried to slam the door shut, but the woman wedged her hand in the doorway. "Just one loaf of bread. It costs you nothing." "Get away from here," Edward growled. "I can't help you." The old woman looked at him, and her eyes gleamed strangely. "You have rejected me, Edward Winterbotham. You will now pay the price. Every Christmas night, when the clock strikes 12, your house will fill with the souls you denied help in life. They will stay with you until you learn what generosity truly is." Edward laughed. "Foolish woman, nonsense," and he slammed the door shut. The next morning, Edward was found dead in his bedroom. His face was twisted in terror, as if he had seen something horrifying before he died. The doctor ruled it a heart attack, but the townspeople believed the old woman was a witch and that she had cursed him. Riaz took a sip of his coffee. "So what was the curse?" Ahmed continued. "After Edward's death, the house stood abandoned. No one dared buy it, believing it was haunted. But the following Christmas night, townsfolk saw lights glowing in its windows, even though it was empty. Some claimed they heard screams." Riaz shifted uneasily. "These are just stories." "Perhaps," said Ahmed with a smile, "but the story isn't over." Years later, Edward's grandson, George, returned. He was as miserly as his grandfather. He decided to demolish the house and build a modern bungalow. People warned him, but he ignored them. On Christmas night, George stayed alone in the house as all the workers had gone on holiday. Near midnight, he began hearing strange sounds, something crawling across the floor. He grabbed a flashlight and went downstairs. What he saw made his blood freeze. The hall was filled with dozens of beings, or perhaps not beings at all. They were black shadows shaped like humans, but none were complete. Some had no eyes, some no mouth, some no hands. They moved silently through the hall. George tried to scream, but his throat closed. He tried to run, but at the door stood a creature facing him, without eyes, yet watching. "This is a dream," George told himself. "I'll wake up." But he didn't. The shadows advanced. He ran, screamed, but every room was the same. Finally, he collapsed in his grandfather's old study. There he saw a book titled The Record of the Winterbotham Family. He opened it. On the first page was written, "Every person I refused to help became part of my curse. Free them, or my bloodline will face them forever." Each page listed a name, a date, and the amount that person had needed but was denied. There were hundreds. Just then, the creatures entered the room. George clutched the book and screamed, "I'm sorry, I'll help them all." But it was too late. The creatures attacked him. The next morning, workers found George unconscious. He survived, but lost his mind. He repeated only one thing, "They're coming, they're coming." As Ahmed spoke, his voice trembled strangely. Riaz felt the cafe's atmosphere shift. Outside, the lights flickered. "And that still isn't the end," Ahmed whispered. "The curse continues. Every Christmas night at midnight, the last living descendant of Winterbotham, wherever he may be, faces those beings." Riaz laughed lightly. "A good story, but fiction." "Is it?" Ahmed asked softly. "What was your grandfather's name?" Riaz froze. I don't belong to that family." "Your grandfather's name was George Winterbotham, wasn't it? After losing his mind, he changed his name, left the city, and hid his past. But blood never changes." Riaz's heart pounded. His grandfather was named George. He had changed his name. He never celebrated Christmas. Every year he locked the house that night. "How do you know?" Riaz whispered. Ahmed pulled an old photograph from his pocket. It showed the same old woman. "That witch was my great-grandmother. I'm trying to end the curse." Riaz stood up abruptly. "This is a lie. I'm leaving." But the cafe lights went out. Only the dim glow of Christmas lights outside remained. The ticking of the clock grew loud. 15 minutes until midnight, Ahmed said from the darkness. "You have two choices. Run and be hunted forever, or come with me and end this." Riaz's hands shook. "What do you want?" "Your grandfather's book," Ahmed said. "You have it." Riaz nodded. His grandfather had given him a book before dying, saying, "Never open it." That book is a talisman. Every name inside is a trapped soul. Read them aloud and free them. "How?" Riaz asked. "You must take it to the original house, the ruins on the edge of town, and read every name at exactly midnight." After a moment, Riaz said, "All right, let's go." They drove to the ruins. Inside, the air was freezing. Dust and decay filled the hall. 5 minutes, Ahmed said. Riaz opened the book. The clock struck 12. Anne Marie Cooper, Riaz read. A cold wind rushed through the room. A figure appeared, the old woman. He apologized. She faded. Name after name, soul after soul. Finally, one name remained: Elizabeth Blackwood. Nothing happened. "She's the strongest," Ahmed said. A scream echoed. Black mist formed into a furious spirit. "I'm sorry. I promise to honor you. Promises," the spirit screamed. "Elizabeth," Ahmed said softly, "I'm your descendant." She stopped. "I'm tired," she whispered. "You're free," Riaz said. She smiled and vanished. Light filled the house. The curse was broken. Outside, dawn approached. Riaz messaged his family. "I'm coming home tomorrow morning, and we'll make this Christmas special." He looked at the sky, knowing his life had changed forever. That evening in September 1973 was not an ordinary one on the shores of Loch Ness. The air did not carry its usual cold dampness. Instead, there was a heavy, electric tension, as if the atmosphere itself were waiting for something momentous to happen. James Carrig, known for his courage and unconventional documentary films, sat on a desolate rocky ledge with his trusted 16mm Arriflex camera. With him was only his sound recordist, Liam, seated a few feet away with a small portable tape recorder. There was a strange weariness on both their faces. They had spent 3 weeks in this lonely, damp place, and so far they hadn't captured a single shot of real interest. "James," Liam said, pulling the collar of his sweater up as a sharp wind sliced across the surface of the loch, "are you sure this isn't all a waste of time? Just 1 more week, then I'm going back to London, whether you come with me or not." James didn't reply. His eyes were fixed across the water on the dark, crumbling ruins of Urquhart Castle, which, in the fading light, looked like a massive sleeping dragon. He hadn't come here just to photograph Nessie. He was searching for something deeper, a truth hidden behind a legend that had lived in people's minds for centuries. Was it merely a misunderstanding, or something else entirely? Something beyond the limits of science and reason? The sun was touching the horizon, filling the sky with shades of purple, gold, and copper. The water no longer looked deep blue, but like blackened steel. Suddenly, without warning, the smooth glass-like surface of the loch twisted at a single point. This wasn't a fish jumping, it was something far larger, as if a gigantic underwater pendulum had turned on its axis, creating a wide circular ripple that slowly expanded toward the shore. "My God!" Liam gasped, jumping to his feet. James was already in motion. The camera was pressed to his eye, his breath caught in his throat. For a moment, everything froze, the wind, time, even the beating of his heart. Then it emerged. It did not rise from the water, but within it, as if it were part of the loch itself. At first, there was only a swell, then a long, graceful, powerful neck, droplets of water shimmering like moonlight along its surface. Its head was small and skeletal, like some ancient brachiosaurus, yet there was an unnatural awareness in it. Slowly, it turned its head to one side, and James saw, truly saw, its eyes. Large, deep, amber-colored eyes staring directly into the camera lens. Within them was the wisdom of ages, a loneliness beyond human understanding, and a pure, unfiltered curiosity. The moment lasted only seconds, but for James it was eternal. His finger was locked on the shutter button. The mechanical whir of the camera sounded like a prayer in the dreadful silence. Then, as if something had pulled it downward, the creature slowly began to sink back into the water. Its neck curved in a mournful, fluid motion, and it vanished. Only a faint ring of ripples remained, spreading outward until they reached the shore and disappeared. Silence. Then Liam's voice, a trembling whisper. "Did you see that? You really saw it, James?" James finally lowered the camera. His hands were shaking. He didn't answer. His mind was racing. This hadn't just been a sighting, it had been an encounter, proof that could change the world. And yet, deep inside him, an ancient fear had awakened. Some secrets, when revealed to the world, are nothing less than a violation. "What we saw, Liam," James said at last, his voice filled with uncertainty for the first time, "is ours alone. For now, we don't tell anyone." Liam nodded, still in shock. Over the next few days, James abandoned his routine entirely. He stayed locked in his darkroom day and night, developing the precious film and examining every single frame. The image was clear, shockingly clear. When he ran it through the projector, the creature came alive once more, its deep amber eyes staring back at him from the screen. It was a miracle. Liam grew increasingly uneasy. "James, we should show this. This is history." "Yes," James replied after a long pause, his eyes lost in the glowing amber on the screen. "It's history, and history can be destructive." Then came the night. James told Liam to go to the nearby village for dinner. James himself sat alone in his room, his notebook open, writing down every detail of the event. Outside, the wind howled, tree trunks creaking like screams. Then, the power went out. The house fell into darkness. James heard the floorboards scraping outside his room. It wasn't an ancient sound. These were careful, deliberate footsteps. His heart pounded. He slid the camera, with the precious film still inside, under his bed. From his coat pocket, he pulled out a small flashlight. He opened his bedroom door. The hallway was dark, lit only by moonlight filtering through a window. In the far end of the hall, he saw 3 shadows. 3 tall, slender figures, their faces hidden in darkness. One of them stepped forward. "Mr. Carrig," came a calm but indistinct voice, carrying no clear accent. "We need that film." "What film are you talking about?" James said, trying to keep his voice steady. "You know which one, the lake footage, the one you recorded. Give it to us, and you'll feel much better." "It's my property, my discovery." The shadowed figure moved closer. Moonlight glinted off something in his hand, a long, thin, gleaming object, some kind of device. "Some things, Mr. Carrig, are not meant to be discovered. Some secrets are meant to remain secrets. Give it to us." James's mind raced. These weren't government agents, nor thieves. There was something strange in their words, an almost religious certainty. "Who are you?" James asked. "We are the ones who protect it from the curiosity of your world. It is old, Mr. Carrig, older than us, and it desires peace. Your film will not give it peace. It will lead to its destruction." James tried to step back, but realized another shadow had moved behind him. He suddenly flicked on the flashlight, aiming it at the figure's face. A soft sound followed, a gentle, piercing jab at his neck. A warm numbness instantly spread through his limbs. He felt himself collapsing to his knees, the floor rushing toward his face. In his final conscious moment, he saw the 3 shadows entering his room. Then, darkness. The next morning, Liam found the house empty. James Carrig was gone. His camera, all his notebooks, and most importantly, the precious roll of film, everything had vanished. There were no signs of struggle, no evidence at all. It was as if James Carrig had dissolved into the air. The police conducted a full investigation. Locals reported no suspicious vehicles or strangers. A search was carried out in the lock, but nothing was found. No body, no camera. A file was opened under James Carrig's name, and over time, it gathered dust. Liam, paralyzed by shock and fear, never told anyone the truth about that night. He returned to London and avoided even speaking the name of Loch Ness. But the story does not end there. Every few years, a new blurry sighting is reported from Loch Ness. Sometimes a tourist captures a vague photograph. Sometimes a local claims to have seen strange movement. But with every such report, something odd happens. Anyone who attempts to present clear evidence, whether an expert or a curious amateur, faces inexplicable problems. Footage disappears, computers crash, or the person suddenly abandons their research without explanation. And sometimes, especially on stormy nights when the water turns dark and restless, the local elders say they can see a long neck and two glowing amber eyes in the loch. Eyes filled with neither anger nor violence, only observation, as if the ancient creature is still there, hidden in the depths, guarding its secret, waiting for those few who are determined to protect it, not discover it. And James Carrick's film? It is stored somewhere deep and secure, perhaps in a bank vault, perhaps in a private collection, or perhaps somewhere else, far more mysterious and profound. It is a lost legend, a sinking truth, forever buried in the dark, enigmatic depths of Loch Ness.